we don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Welcome back to another episode of Front Row Cinema, a movie podcast for movie lovers by movie lovers. I am your host, Trimboli, and with me, as always, my co-host, excellent bath companion, Mr. James O'Reilly.
Oh, come on, man. It's just like,
All
of
right.
all the things you could pick, like, you couldn't say, like, he likes ice cream or
And there's
strong believer in reincarnation. None of that. You had to go with the bath, huh?
had to go with the bath. Jim, we've known each other since we were 13. Excellent bath companion. The people need to know, all right? To pat yourself on the back.
I have no comment on this. Honestly, I think I'm too tall for most bathtubs. I don't know, like height wise, it doesn't really work. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you might be off on this one.
Your knees just towering over the tub as you try to squeeze your way in.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I can't even tell you the last time I was in a bath with another human being. Certainly nothing like what happened in this movie, that's for sure.
I can tell you it was January 5th, 2001. We had just finished a great snow day, came in with some hot chocolate, and we took a sud.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
You brought the rubber ducky. I brought the bubbles.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that. I'm going to just let you leave that out there. I'm not. This is not me giving co-signing that or giving any kind of credence to that.
So instead, he'll just plead the fifth. Jim, I don't know if you've been following along, but man, oh man, the people are going hot in the comments again. And
Oh no, I
yeah,
haven't been following along, and I think I should use this opportunity to remind you that I don't think you should be either.
you have to because they're just so funny sometimes. So it's not the Mean Girls one. The Mean Girls one continues to just be shut
Okay,
up, stop yapping. I fucking hate you. We're on
okay.
to we're on to a new one here. The Grudge is currently sitting at a
Oh.
whopping 53 comments.
Wow, 53 comments. Oh boy, I bet you they're all worth reading.
Oh, it's all a conversation between like three or four people that are just insomniacs, and they're definitely like 15 years old. It's like one of the fun. This person commented on it first, just wrote, "Ask anything." Bitch, what are you doing in my comments? Why are you telling other people to ask you anything? This is our show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. I feel like this could go wrong a lot of ways, but I'm not against it so far.
So she
So
wrote,
far,
"Ask,
open-minded, positive. I like
yeah,
it.
ask anything." To which a gentleman replied back, "Make a playlist for us." And she wrote back, "I have a boyfriend." And he
Oh
wrote,
boy, yeah. This went south so
"Yeah."
fast. So,
And he wrote, "You made a
first of all,
playlist. You made a playlist
make
with
a
Liam."
playlist is not a question.
Yeah, man, oh man. Man, oh man. And then all of them are just these people going on and on about bothering this girl and her boyfriend.
All right, I think that that sounds horrible. I'm really upset that you told me
It's
about it at all.
it's
I would
it's a
like to go back to
wonderful
the world where I don't know these things happen.
it's a wonderful time. And then I'm pretty sure she starts talking about like suicide at one point. Like
You know what? I really feel like that there's no good that can come of us reading these on the show. I don't understand why we do it.
uh, because
And
nobody
I,
said like they don't say anything, but all of a sudden this one person's comment goes, "Stop faking committing. That's horrible." To which she replies, "I wasn't faking. I actually almost did it a couple of times. I've had a couple of friends commit. I wouldn't fake that. I've tried because my life sucks." Girl, get off our
yeah,
thing and go get some help, please.
yeah, like you should like delete all of these and never talk about them to any human being ever again. I don't know why we're doing this. This
All
is
right.
so
She
dumb.
said she's got her
This
boyfriend
isn't
who's
funny at
super,
all.
super supportive. This is like, why are it's crazy, crazy, crazy time. But then you have one last person, Jim, 2 hours ago, who asks, I don't know if this is to you or to me, but they go, "Why you a bop?" What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think, Jim? You think you're a bop or you think I'm a bop?
I have no thoughts about any of it. I'm just gonna go back to pretending like I didn't know that that happened.
I'm a bop. I'm about to bop you on the head so you can forget those comments.
There you go. Too late. What comments?
Oh God.
Those,
Please stop
these aren't the
commenting.
comments you're looking for.
These- Nice. Yeah, people, please stop commenting on our things. It would be great if you just like didn't acknowledge our existence. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, it's but like even if they do comment, it's kind of like if a tree falls in the woods scenario. If you just don't acknowledge them, did they really happen? You know what I mean? Like
Can't help it. I must acknowledge. I'll
you
never
can though. You
respond, but I
definitely
must
can.
acknowledge. I must ingest the information into my mind. I'll never respond, but I have it ingested, implanted right into my face, much like Nicole Kidman did that to me tonight. Jim, what are we watching tonight?
We're watching a movie that doesn't make me any more comfortable than where I was just a second ago. We're watching 2004's Birth.
Right, the opposite of what that girl in the comments was trying to do. We're watching Birth. Jim,
What?
Jim, come on.
I don't know. I don't even know what comment you're talking about. I'm not sure what you mean or who you're referring to.
Yes, the psychological drama Birth, directed by Jonathan Glazer, written by him, Jean-Claude Carrier, and Milo Adiga, and starring Nicole Kidman, Lauren Bacall, and Danny Houston. It's quite a cast. And the young
Sure.
Cameron Bright, playing way beyond his years.
Yeah, Cameron Bright, who was like the early 2000s version where it's just like, hey, you need a 9-year-old, call up Cameron Bright. He's got your back.
I got him.
Like,
He's
I
here.
feel like there's a lot of movies he's like plays like the kid in, right?
At least in the early 2000s. We had him on retainer. He was there for a reason. Now, Jim, I don't have. We finally found another one. I don't have the DVD cover, but don't worry, it will be rectified
That's
because
good. You probably
just
don't
let.
want a physical copy of this movie lying around.
Well, too late, Jim, because just last week the Criterion released an edition of Birth, and I pre-ordered it, so I
Oh
will
man.
eventually have Birth in my collection.
I'm just saying, when they're doing no knock warrants on everybody, this might be on some kind of list. I'm just saying.
When Greg Bovino comes and crashes my door down and
Yeah,
finds
right,
my
right,
collection
right.
of Birth
It's like
DVDs.
saying mean things about people has consequences. Owning the birth DVD has consequences. You know, you're liable to have some consequences if you catch my drift.
All right, I'm just gonna take the movie out, hide it in a copy of Mein Kampf. They'll never know. They'll be like, "All right, you're this guy's cool."
You know what? We like the cut of this guy's jib.
Yeah, you know what?
He seems
You're an
all right
honor.
by me.
Yeah, this guy's an honorary ICE member. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Uh, I don't
Just
know.
just call me water because this guy's ice.
Now in the movie Birth, Nicole Kidman and Cameron Bright. Cameron Bright plays a young boy who attempts to convince a woman that he is her dead husband reborn. And it's going to go just as crazy as you think it will. This is a first time watch for either of us. Have you even, right? I remember when we discovered this last week, neither of us had ever even heard of this movie, correct? Right? You never
It's
heard of
coming
this?
back. Like after watching it, it was coming back to me. I've definitely never seen it before, but I remember it, if that makes sense.
Like the poster to me is familiar. Like I probably had seen it around like when we were younger, but I knew nothing about this movie other than Nicole Kidman, who was just plastered all over the poster. So this is like
Yeah.
as fresh a watch as you could possibly get.
Is it like who was in that movie The Skeleton Key? Was that Nicole Kidman?
No, I believe that was Kate Hudson, right? Was that Kate Hudson, I think?
Sure, maybe. It was somebody. The point is, like in the early 2000s, movies like The Skeleton Key would come out. This is back when they had movie stars. And it would just be like, yeah, I don't know what that movie is, but Nicole Kidman's in it. You know,
Yeah.
she's
I couldn't tell you anything about the movie, but I know I can tell you who was in it. And it was star actress Nicole Kidman doing some Nicole Kidman things. And with a movie so possible rife for, a little, I can't even think of the word right now. I'm all flustered. Controversy. There it is. There's my
yeah,
wording.
it's a bit
Thank you.
it's a bit
Yeah.
controversial.
Controversial this movie could be. I wonder how this could have done at the box office. How many perverts do we have out in the land tonight, Jim?
I
Let's find
mean,
out.
probably more than this will indicate, but yeah, we'll take a look here.
numbers, dates, numbers, numbers, dates, hooray, dates, numbers. Show me the money.
All right. So Birth is gonna open the weekend of. Hold, please. Quiet, please.
Right on the set. Gang.
It's gonna open the weekend of Halloween, the weekend of the 29th through the 31st.
What a time to put this movie out.
Which
Although
is interesting.
I don't really know if there is a good time to put a movie with this kind of subject matter out. Like I don't know where you dump this. That's gonna
There's
make
not.
people be like, let's
There's
go.
not. Like maybe bring your kid to work day. It's like the bring your kid to work day crowd. Yeah, although I don't know, it feels like it'd be very uncomfortable. I don't know. But yeah, opens the weekend of Halloween, which is interesting to me because like it feels like this movie could be a horror movie if you really wanted it to be. You know, it's like another one like ones we've done recently where it just seems like, man, if they can just put a little bit of a tilt on this, it makes sense that this could be a horror movie.
There's definitely a version out there where this could be a horror movie. And I guess that makes like probably the best sense because how do you market this? They probably just if I've never seen the trailer, but I would have to imagine the trailer plays as if it's like a thriller slash horror movie to try and like trick people into theaters because otherwise they're like, I don't know how we sell this.
See, I don't know. I think that like the actual play here and why this isn't even more of a horror movie or a thriller than it seems like it ought to be is because they're really playing up on the like, no, it's like this is actually kind of good. You know, like she lost somebody and man, she's kind of finding him again. Isn't that okay? You know, it feels like it's trying to lean into that, even though any right-minded person would watch this and not feel like that at all. You know, like um maybe a little bit, but it's outweighed by other things, let's say, you know. It feels like it's trying to live in that lane instead of really just embracing how horrific this concept is, like on so many levels, you know?
Yeah. It's
It
trying to
all
take a
feels
more
like very okay. Like it's astonishing to me that so many people are just like, yeah, this is fine, you know, like for most of the movie.
think it's probably trying to take like more of a like a dramatic realistic version of like such an idea that could possibly come instead of like playing with the genre formula of like trying to do a movie like this, which would be playing like more of like the horror element of it. Seems like he wants to do much more of a character study than just be like, hey, this idea is fucking bonkers. Like, let's do something fucking bonkers with it. And they're like, no, what if we
Yeah.
make something like meditative that's like that will encompass over you? And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's pretty fucking crazy to do that.
Right. It's trying to exist in a world where this is real. And like, what would you do if this was real? Like, you know, and under the assumption that it's like mostly a good thing that you still can like at least talk to your dead husband or something, right? It feels like it's mostly existing in that world, as opposed to the world that I would tend to lean toward always, which is like this can't possibly be real, so what's the angle here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who's getting hurt and why are we hurting them and what is there to gain from it? Like all of the things that would make this interesting for me live in that world. And it feels like, I don't know, it feels like that movie coming out on Halloween probably does better than what this movie does. Because it feels like it's like half pregnant, you know what I mean? Like it's got all of this juice and meat on the bones, but it's not going for any of it because it's just like, God, there's some like kind of feel goody things maybe in the middle, you know?
Something in the middle.
Yeah, right, right. Like it's hard. I don't know. I just this is quite an enigma for this movie. But anyway, it opens the first weekend against a $20 million budget. Gotta figure that's mostly Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah, gotta
Like,
be. I
can't
can't.
imagine what else they spent it on. It's gonna open with $1.3 million.
Yikes. Yep, that's just not gonna do it. That's gonna be down the number 100 spot behind Club Dread's 3 million, but ahead of I Heart Huckabee's 292,000.
Okay. Worth mentioning on 550 screens too. So like still a pretty wide release. Not like a super wide release, but it's not like starting on like something too small.
Like that's big enough to put butts in the seats if the demand is out there.
Yeah. Uh, it opens in 13th place, which is
Ooh,
like
that's a tough
this
one.
is kind of our dark horse for the weekend.
Yeah,
Never really going to crack the top 10.
yeah.
Doesn't really feel worth following, other than to say it has a slight increase going into weekend two, bringing it up to 11th place, with another 1.3 and some change. And then after that, it's basically non-existent. So
Man, didn't even break the top 10 ever. What a shame. Although, I mean, like, the writing is on the wall. Like, this is just such a, like, there's just no way to market this adequately that you're going to, like, get anything other than just, like, a niche market.
right, like you may get a lot of widows to go see it, like who
Yeah.
are not feeling so good in general.
Like,
You may get a lot of them in the seats, but
yeah, your goal with making something like this is keeping the budget low and just hoping for something, and just hoping for a miracle. Just get on
yeah, right,
base, bunt,
right.
get on base.
20 is already way too high too. It just like it almost feels like Kangaroo Jack levels of egregious.
Listen, man, they got to shoot in that gaudy upper west side apartment. That stuff don't come cheap.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does come cheap though. I think you could build that on a lot in like 2 days, like for like
Jonathan
$2,000.
Glazer doesn't do anything on lot, man. He's on location.
Yeah.
He's out there doing wonders through Central Park.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, through Central Park, that's fair. Snowy Central Park too. The
Yeah,
logistics must have been insane.
yeah, man. You think that was easy? Getting all that snow there in the middle of June for shooting?
But yeah, we'll finish out with some totals. So domestically, it's going to finish with let's say $5.1 million.
Yes.
International, it's going to pull in $18.8 million for a worldwide total of $23.9 million.
Oh, right.
And I'm just
23.9.
saying,
Yeah,
I'll give you I'll give you one guess what European country is like pulling it in second place here for the gross.
France.
No, that was a good guess, but it's like think what's the other one?
Oh, man. The other perverts? I don't know
I'm not saying this is why you said that, not me. Italy with
who.
$5.2 million. Hey, he's an 11-year-old boy. He could have a wife.
Us Italians. I wasn't. I did. We just talk with our hands. It's how we talk. Wasn't touching inappropriately. I'm Italian.
I don't understand. They call it birth, but he's already born.
Look at that kid. He got the brajol already. He can get in the tub. Let the boy in the tub.
Oh, no. Oh. It's
Uh,
so horrible.
so Birth's 23.9 going to put us in the 97th spot. Behind Shaun of the Dead's 38.7, but ahead of Eight Crazy Nights 23.8. So yeah, that's some stuff right there.
Yeah, quite the box office run. What I'm really dying to see, like, if ever there was a time for our 1 and 10 star reviews to be just like rife with mental illness, it feels like this would be the time. So
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sure
dying to hear these.
plenty of sage, level-headed takes in the comment section tonight. These people, we were like, listen, we're gonna be adults about this. We got healthy takes. 42% from the critics, 43% from the audience. We're right on the money together. 6.3 from IMDb. Cinema score, the opening weekend people, that 1.3 million, they weren't having it, baby. C plus.
Oh yeah, I don't blame them. That does make sense.
They weren't having it. But let's see what the IMDbers had to say about it. We'll start with our 1 stars as always. Our first one writes, disturbing. This movie has no gratifying attributes at all. Can you imagine the pitch to a studio? I have this great idea for a movie. Follow along, please. 1. A man dies of a heart attack. 2. 10 years later, the dead man's wife is getting married again to a decent man. 3. A 10-year-old boy comes to the happy couple's home and insists he is the dead husband. 4. Now here's the real kicker. The wife believes the boy and sets up a plan to marry him in 10 years when he is 21. Then what follows is a strange foray into the world of pedophilia. You know, Nicole in the bathtub with the boy and stuff. 5, the end is great. Turns out this boy is not the husband at all, but just a boy. And he is faking the whole thing because he is in love with this woman. Like, you and your teacher kind of a thing. 6, the wife has a nervous breakdown and lives her life of misery as the boy moves on to 6th grade. So what do you think? The studio execs turn to each other and say, Nicole in a bathtub? Sign us up.
I mean, we're not sure that didn't happen. So I mean, who knows?
Honestly, like this could have been a stenographer. We don't know.
That doesn't sound like something they wouldn't say. It sounds somewhat reasonable, actually.
Pretty sure this girl's just leaking the minutes.
Did Harvey Weinstein produce this movie, or?
Oh yeah, I could say. Do we have a Miramax logo on this? So let me get a reading on that.
I don't think so.
Oh, don't think that one was him. Wow, Harvey, you controlled yourself. Who'd have
I mean,
thought?
let's not give him credit. He wasn't. If he wasn't involved, that's like going to an orphanage and being like, "All right, you didn't get anybody at this orphanage, Harvey. Good job." Like, that's he doesn't get credit for places he's never been. Like that's not how that works. He was probably just somewhere else committing some other crime. I mean,
He was like, "This one, it's too out in the open. I can't do it. I got to be subtle. Pass this off to the next studio." He's like, "But let me be the first in line." Was he at the screening? Probably. We got another person here, Jim, and they simply write at the top for their header, "I cannot believe you people." I am
oh boy.
amazed at how many people will okay any kind of behavior as long as it's perpetrated by movie producers. Yikes. Harvey! If some woman off screen were caught naked in a bathtub with a 5th grade boy, even if she claimed he was the reincarnation of her husband, she would be arrested. If pictures of it were to appear on the internet, the FBI would be tracking anyone who tried to view it. Yet Hollywood can plaster it all over the screen for anyone to see, and it is praised as beautiful, mesmerizing, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about real life, which so many of you say the director was trying to capture. In real life, regardless of whether she believed it was her husband or not, he was still in the body of a 10-year-old boy, and there is no way to get past that. And even if the director felt she would get past that, it is unnecessary to have that child in a bathtub with Tom Cruise's naked ex-wife to make his point. This is just another of Hollywood's excuses to portray deviant behavior as something romantic and loving. Let's not forget the deep love shown in Lolita or Pretty Baby, which allow us to share in the fun of being an 11-year-old virgin auctioned off to the highest bidder at her mother's brothel. The director actually had Brooke Shields' character laugh after being deflowered by a sweaty, obese patron. Jesus Christ. Movie masterpiece. Unfortunately, movie makers will continue to dress up what should not be seen as long as people like the ones I've seen reviewing this piece of work continue to glorify it.
I'm not gonna lie, that guy really cooked for a lot of that. He was pretty on point for a lot of things. Like, there's one thing in particular I'll agree with is like in the Venn diagram of people who would say, listen up, we're gonna film this 10-year-old boy getting into a bathtub. There's like not many the people who could say that to you where you'd be like, okay, like this might be the only one. And I wonder if that's worth some further consideration. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely,
that is odd. Because just imagine somebody said that to you. You'd be like, actually, we're going to fucking leave now. Like, I think that's terrible. And I'm calling the police would be my response, to 99% of people, right?
Like, imagine pitching that to the parents of the kid, to Cameron Bright's parents. He's like, all right, no,
right.
Listen. Like,
right.
Yeah, we're gonna have your son. We're gonna film your son getting naked and getting in the tub. What? You're gonna do what now? Well, he's gonna have a thing on, so we're not gonna see his thing. But he's gonna strip down and get in the tub.
But the way we're gonna film it is gonna get so uncomfortably close to seeing it. Like you're gonna be wondering the whole time, if you will.
It's a move. My only note for this guy is how dare you sully the name of Nicole Kidman by referring to her as Tom Cruise's naked ex-wife. Let's have some
that part he didn't cook. Yeah, that part not so good.
A little respect on one of our greatest thespians here, all right? Like, come on, guy. You were cooking for
But
so
yeah,
good.
and the only other thing, did people say that that was beautiful back then? Because like I thought it was a very interesting scene, if only because like I don't know if anybody's ever made me feel so uncomfortable watching a movie before. You know what I mean? Like
We'll have
it
to
was so uncomfortable.
we'll have to wait until we get to our tenors to see if where the beauty lies.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh man, we got one last oneer here, Jim, and he writes, "Birth defect." This is a short film stretched into a feature. 2-second scenes which do nothing for the film. Long shots which bore the hell out of the audience, and a plot that has potential, wasted like an abortion, which is what this film is. God, dude. It's always convenient to not explain your plot. It means you don't have to have any answers to what you're portraying. It's a cop out. The characters were as flat as the screen on which they were portrayed. The whole time, the audience is asking, why isn't he saying this or that if he's really the husband? Why isn't he acting like an adult instead of a child? Please explain it to us. Then, from the first of the film, when I saw the lady bury the box, I knew it had to have some kind of means of conveyance. Like a journal, it ended up being letters. Yet we're left at the end of the film still wondering if he really is the husband. Convenient to let us know, because I doubt if the writer or director even knows. People that get away with such crap tick me off. This is Sundance at its best. Thrown together a great cast, surrounded by nonsense, and the sheep in Hollywood will eat it up. Bah, I say to you all, you're lost sheep, still trying to be part of the herd. It's too bad Hollywood has to share one brain for the whole of the city. Bunch of clones. You want to know a good film if it's screened in front of you. So go home, pop in your DVD of the hours, and lull yourself to sleep again, you sheep, firm in the knowledge that you're part of the flock, ever ready to cast your vote for yet another artistic piece of crap, lacking story or meaning. Until next Sundance arrives and you can crowd the streets, chanting your favorite sleeper hit. They don't call them that for nothing, you know. P.S. Is it just irony that the first famous cloned animal was in fact a sheep? Think about it, you sheep.
All right, so is that written by James Woods or Kevin Sorbo? Which one you think? My
Oh,
money's on
good.
Kevin Sorbo. It still feels a little early for it to be
That's just,
James
it's a
Woods.
little something Hercules could definitely bust out. Bah.
Yeah, is that? I feel like that's the second one we've read where they literally wrote a ba noise in the middle too.
It wouldn't shock me in the least.
Yeah, also though, kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie. There is
I
a
mean,
few points in there
he had me in the
where I
first
was
half.
like, yeah, that does make sense. Like if you don't ever actually hook onto anything for the plot, it doesn't matter how it ends. You know what I mean? Like,
So he started
because
off
it's
strong.
not. It's sort of what we were saying earlier, where it never really feels like it hooks on to what the goal is. You know, like Nicole Kidman sort of has the goal of like proving the kid wrong and like getting it through his head that it's not real, but then also is sort of like slowly like falling for it. But like it's never like there's never like a timeline to it. There's never like, you know, by the time we get to here, you know, well, we're gonna have figured this out, or you know, like we're gonna go here to try and undo it. It doesn't really have like a plot, so to speak. It's just kind of like, what do you think? Is it him? Like,
It's
and
just,
so yeah, like I kind of agree with what that person was saying. Like it doesn't really like the ending can be whatever it wants it to be because it never really like puts its feet firmly in anything.
he was cooking in the first half, but then he cooked himself too hard. He got too angry, and he went off the deep end by the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Also, Kevin Sorbo, I don't agree with what that guy's saying about a lot of things.
He
Like,
got a little tight in the second half. But we'll let that one slide. All right, Jim. Let's see if we can find the joy and beauty in young men taking baths with inappropriately aged
yeah.
women.
See, the way I was thinking, I was like, let's see if we can find Roman Polanski's IMDb account.
Where, oh, where? This first one comes to us from Woody Allen. Oh, all right, Jim. Easy.
Yeah.
This, this first person writes, I saw this film at a film festival before it was released to the general public, and poor Nicole Kidman got booed by a lot of the people who had come to see this movie. I eventually went to see it again when it was finally released to the general public. I can't believe how uptight Americans can be about anything and everything involving sex and sexual situations. What are their hangups about such things? People were too worried about the movie appearing to condone child pornography instead of watching the movie for what it was actually about, a movie about death, mourning, and reincarnation. Since I practice Buddhism, I was glad to see the issue of
Oh
reincarnation
boy.
brought up in such a mainstream movie. The story is very gripping and holds you to the edge of the seat the entire time. I also like the fact that there is very little dialogue in the movie. Sometimes too many words and unnecessary conversations can just get in the way. Jim, what are our hang-ups about pedophilia?
I mean, let me count the ways. How much time you got? It's
Why must
not
we be
good.
why must we be so uptight about 10-year-olds bathing with strange women?
I know, right? It's just these Americans with their Puritan sensibilities that think that that's inappropriate. No, I mean, like, I don't know. It's pretty inappropriate, right? If that makes me an American, so be it.
Fairly inappropriate. All I
Like,
know
I
is the
could totally see booing Nicole Kidman's character in this movie. You're telling me your husband died 10 years ago, and it takes, like, what? Like, a week and a few, like John Edwards style readings for you to be hopping in the bath with him? I mean, he's like a 10-year-old kid. You're an adult. You should be, like, over this in 10 years and not be doing things like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's on you, actually.
pretty crazy. All I know is the next time I see a strange woman and a 10-year-old kid in public, I'm just going to mind my own business. I will no longer have any
Yeah.
hang-ups thanks to this
She's
woman's
like picking
review.
him up from school in the middle. It's like, who is watching this child?
Oh, what a time. Jim, our next tenor wants you to know that love is a tricky state of mind. Imagine, if you will, that you are crazy in love with someone, so in love that nothing else matters, that you would do anything for that. Now imagine that you breathe to be around that person, that without it, there is no future, there is no life. And then, if you would, imagine that the person is gone and all you are left is a shell tormented by memories, desperately trying to ease your pain. Is there a light at the end of that tunnel? Or is it just the illusion of it? And is living enough once you think you've had your true love? Well, that's pretty much what's in this movie. And it's no wonder that people only gave it a 6, since for the vast majority, none of you understand this type of love.
Oh, here we go.
Really an excellent movie with great acting from Nicole and a certain common sense from the other characters. They exist in the movie, but they are not flashy. After all, this is a story about true love, and that usually takes two persons. What? Jim, do you really know love if you wouldn't be willing to date the reincarnated version of your spouse as a young child?
Uh, I think you can. Yeah, I think it's possible that you can know love without doing that. I do. I'm
Oh,
just
man, oh, man.
going out on a limb here, but I think it exists.
Let's just hope. One can only hope, because I don't know what I'll do if I have to re-fall in love with Heather again in a reincarnated body of a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just take the loss. I
Yeah.
don't think you have any other option. Like, if anything, you're just like, all right, whatever, we'll move on. I'm 10 again. That's pretty cool. There's some positives and negatives here. Like,
10-year-old boy shows up to my house and he's just like, I'm Heather. And I'm like, I guess love's just not for me.
yeah. Well, good luck with that, son.
Slam the
You have
door
a
back.
great rest of your life. No, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess where I would start, because I did look up some fan theories. I wasn't able to find anything really, but there was
Dude,
like one
dude.
interesting question that I
What?
saw that I thought was like a good place to start. So, do you think the kid is just like really him? Do you think he's playing her? Do you think he believes it and it's not real? Like, where are you falling on that like scale?
Oh, I don't think he is the husband at all.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I don't think he is.
I don't think he is at all. Why?
Do
What's
you
all right?
think he believes that he is?
No, I think he was trying to maybe trick himself into believing it,
Yeah, I don't think he
but
believes it either.
I don't think he
I think
believed it.
he knows the whole
Yeah,
time that
I
it's
think, yeah,
not.
he
Like,
knows. Yeah, he knows, dude. He was just trying to Above his weight class, man. I respect it. Like, he's like, listen, I got a shot at Nicole Kidman. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. I mean, so this is a good place to start then. Yeah.
I
So
respect
we
the
both
hustle.
think
I respect the
he's
hustle, kid.
right. And I don't think he actually believes it. I agree with you that I think he wants to believe it. Like he finds those letters and reads those letters and is like, "Oh my God, this is fucking awesome." Like this lady like is totally devoted to this guy and she loves him so much and they have this history. And man, wouldn't that be a nice thing to have, you
You
know?
also probably have
Um,
to imagine that since these letters are technically from the affair that he's having, that the letters are probably dirty as fuck. He's probably like, dude, this girl's a freak, man. She gets down. Like, let's party.
well, no, so the letters are not from the affair. The letters are from Nicole Kidman to her husband. The
No, I
reason
thought
they're tied in, the reason they're tied in with the affair is because in real life, the guy never opened the letters from his wife. He gave them all to his mistress unopened. And that was like him saying like, "Oh, I'm totally with you. Like I don't give a shit what her love letters say."
Oh, I thought she. See, this is what I get for watching this movie like 2 weeks ago. I could have sworn I thought from in that scene that it when she was talking about the affair that the letters were between her and him.
No, he gave them to his brother's wife, but he gave them to her because they were from his wife. And like the idea was, I don't read these. I only care about you. I don't care about her.
Okay, okay,
So like her getting them like closed was like a sign of his love to her.
gotcha. Okay.
But so yeah, I that's what I think. He reads the letters and they're from Nicole Kidman and they're like she's totally devoted and loves this guy and you know like everything's about it seems so great and so pure and so like everlasting. And he just reads those, he's like, "Man, I want to be a part of that." Like,
I
you know?
want some of what she. Then.
Yeah, right. Like, where do I sign up? And it just like it's crazy to me, like the way that he just like walks in and everybody immediately goes along with it. You know what I mean? Um, can't wrap my head around, and it's like part of the like where this movie like slides for me is like we go from him for one thing just randomly walking into their apartment and being like, "Hey lady, I need to talk to you," and at no point is anybody like, "Hey, who are you?" Like what are
Like,
you
what? Yeah,
doing here?
yeah, like, where the fuck are your parents, bro? Like, he's just like,
Yeah,
I gotta talk to her alone, and she's like, all right.
yeah, she's like, "What are you gonna do? He's got to talk to me alone." It's
The
like, I
most
don't know, kick
accommodating,
him out of your apartment. He's a fucking stranger.
the most accommodating people on the planet.
Yeah, and we go from that point, which I think we both agree is already over some kind of line, right? To him living with her in an instant. It happens so fast. It's not believable at all, you know? Like I can't imagine why anybody would go along with it. Why anybody around her would say, "Yep, that's a great idea," including the kid's parents, including her fiance,
The parents
including
saying
her
it.
mom, her brother, any of them.
The parents saying it is his parents especially is like has to be the most amazing like insane thing ever. It's crazy to me that like and they just don't show it because I guess like either they didn't want to like bother exploring that or they felt having like her like brother-in-law do it was enough. But like how does this kid not immediately get taken for like psychiatric evaluation? Like we never
Right.
see that. Like it's just Nicole Kidman's brother-in-law talking to him about like how do we know you could be Sean? And then once he says a couple of things that like they can't read, like refute, we're like, maybe it is him. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
dude, take that kid to a hospital, bro. Like,
Right. Well, right. If you're that kid's parents, there's no other option than to be like, "Hey, I am so sorry." Like, we're gonna take him to get professional help because that's insane what you just told me. That's insane. There's no way you can look at that and say, it's just a phase, you know? And
it's like this kid either is like having an episode and is like losing his mind, or like I would worry that like he hit his head and just went fucking insane.
right.
Like,
Something is horribly
yeah,
wrong. Yeah,
yeah,
there's something
like
that's not
we,
okay
yeah,
here.
we needed, or like the
The
third
only
option,
thing I'm
which turns
sure
out,
of, yeah, the only thing I'm sure of is that he's not this lady's husband reincarnated. That's the
which
only
exactly,
thing
yeah.
I know for
Which is
sure.
like, yeah. So it's like either like this kid is unwell, he hurt himself and he's unwell, or he's lying. all three of those options should be we avoid Nicole
Right.
Kidman.
Require immediate medical
Yeah,
attention. Yes. Like,
like
so it's insane that it ever gets that far. It's insane that it gets that far. Nobody's saying boo about the whole thing. And the little middle section there is definitely kind of boring because it's really just for a good like 15 20 minutes them being like, "Oh yeah, what about this?" And he's like, "No, I am." And they're like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "No, really, I am." Like that goes on for so long before it actually starts like exploring what any of it means and like if she like how she's responding to it. You know what I mean?
or even like
Um,
really going in to, make like to actually like put the audience into like doubt, like do actual things that you would consider. But like all they have is like the kid comes in and he's like, I used to work at this desk. And we're all like, oh my God, dude, it's Sean. And it's like,
yeah. Wow, that was his desk.
it was like that was his desk. And it's like, okay, yeah, but like maybe a little bit like something else that maybe might make us like question for a second. Like maybe he actually could be like,
Yeah, and some of it is like cold reading kind of stuff too. Like when she asks him who told her that there was no Santa Claus, and he's like, I don't know, I'll know it when I see it. Like he sees just like an older woman, and it's like that's a not a bad guess. That that's the one who told her there's no Santa Claus. Like there's really only like three people on that list. You know what I mean? Like and it would usually be somebody older, you know? So you take a stab in the dark. And I guess like she kind of confirms that he was right. She doesn't like say it out loud, but you can tell on her face that she's sort of connecting the dots and being like, "Oh my God, it is the one who told me there's no Santa Claus."
yeah, no, it's crazy as an idea, as an execution. It's crazy. This entire movie is absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And that's where, like, I was kind of getting into this earlier, where I do think there's a lot about this that's really good. I like the beginning, putting aside like my reality for a second, like how much am I willing to suspend, right? Um, Once she finds out and she goes to the opera with her fiance and she's just like staring into the abyss and you can see her like just she's finally has this moment where she can reflect on it and it's behind like the boisterous like glory of an orchestra, and she's kind of like, man, wouldn't that be great though? Like wouldn't that be amazing if this was real? And like you can see how bad she wants it and how bad she's trying to tell herself she can't have it, but man, does she want it.
No, there is a lot in this movie, irregardless of the subject matter, that is like so just from like a craft level, well done. That scene alone, where we're just like we stay on her face for like probably like 90 seconds, like maybe
Yeah,
even
it's a long
longer.
time.
Yeah. And it's just like there's so much going on behind those eyes that you're just like and you're captivated. Like that scene, I was watching that scene, and by the end of it, I was like, dude, like I never really considered it before. I was like, Nicole Kidman might be like one of the best actresses we've got in the game, man. Like
It was tremendous. It was
yeah,
tremendous
I
because
was
you
like,
can see her running through the gamut of the
yeah,
feelings. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And like just like how tormented she still is by the event, and now she's been given this like, it's a totally unbelievable, can't be real, get out of jail free card, but she still wants the card. You know what I mean? Like she almost doesn't care if it's real, and you can see all of that on her face just for that minute. It's like
yeah.
amazing.
It's like how much is she willing to give over to the grief still, like just for like the faintest idea that this possibly could be real.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just like that idea is like, yeah, I can get behind that. Like that's an interesting thing to explore. Do I think we need to explore it in the tub? I don't know. It's a question. That's another question for
Yeah,
another
well,
day.
right.
But
Right. Which that part's incredibly uncomfortable. Yes. Like
yeah,
it
I think it's
it brings me to
designed
a
though.
very logical question actually,
Okay,
which is this movie better with Chris Evans?
as the 10-year-old boy.
Well, right, but not as a 10-year-old boy, like maybe like a 19-year-old Chris Evans, you know what I mean? Or like a 22-year-old Chris Evans.
Uh,
And like she's a little bit older now and she's like either remarried or remarrying. And like this guy comes back cuz now there's some more juice behind this, right? For one thing, we get rid of all that uncomfortable nonsense that really doesn't add much to the movie other than making me like squeam.
I mean, I feel like that's, I mean, and obviously I can't speak for like the Jonathan Glazer though, but I feel like that's kind of like almost what he was going for by making the kid so young and wanting you to feel uncomfortable for this is trying to like find it in yourself to answer that question. Like, well, if this was a real thing and your like spouse and like love of your life could come back at this age, like at what point are you able to like to explore that, like, and it's like
So let me
the
put it to
movie
you
is
this way.
insanely uncomfortable and I feel like he did that by design.
Yeah, and but let me put it to you this way. If that's the question you're trying to pose, the answer is unequivocally no when it's a
i
10-year-old.
I agree with
Like
you. I
it's
agree with
like
you.
to me the question is way more interesting when it's like something that I might actually grapple with. You know what I mean? Like if it's like an adult, for example, and I'm happy, but maybe I'm not as happy as I could be. And I still think about that person that I lost. And now all of a sudden you're saying, hey, they're here in a way that's not immoral. Like, like there's a lot that could be immoral about it. But like that is much more of a question to me as opposed to taking it to such an extreme that like 95% of people would be like, no, this is gross. Why would you ever do this?
It is great, and I wonder if it hurts it by doing those choices, them in the bathtub, him giving her that kiss outside of the apartment, because like I could see what he's trying to go for it by like posing this question, like at what, like, is there an expiration or like is there like a boundary against like true love? But when you start to muddle it with these like suggestive sexually explicit things, that's when you start to get like really gross and creepy, because like I can understand the question posed of like at what point and how far does your love transpire, but you lose that when you start to get into, but he's a 10-year-old where they bathe and he kisses her. Where it's just
Yeah,
like, if it was something where she's just exploring like the grief, like all that side of this movie, I find really interesting.
right.
But
Like if they
every
like play
time,
checkers
yeah,
and like
yeah,
a chat, like
yeah.
yeah,
But
okay.
every time you see that like design of her trying to like give over to it in like such an uncomfortable way is where you like really lose the plot.
Yeah, and I think you can still make it with the same age gap. I think you can make a movie that's about that, but it can't possibly be one that's trying to get me to empathize with Nicole Kidman. You know what I mean? Like it can't be. Like
Although I
like
don't, I'm
that
like,
has to be like the underpinning of something way sinister, and you have to treat it that way. You can't treat it like it's like everything's good, because it's not. Like I'm watching it and every frame of this, I'm like none of this is good, like all of this is horrific.
think the movie wants you.
Please talk about how horrific it is. I need you to, because that's all I can think about at this point.
Do you think the movie wants you to empathize with Nicole Kidman?
I think it does. Yeah, I think that that's kind of the route that they're taking, and that's what I was getting at earlier too. I think they want you to be like, would I? Like, would it be that tempting? Would I go for it? And I think that again, I think that doesn't work. But I think there's a movie here that works where you're a lot more upfront about the fact that Nicole Kidman is a lunatic. You know what I mean? Like an unhinged lunatic who is like hurting underage minors, like taking advantage of them, like physically. Um, like where that can be a thing, and then you find out that the kid was playing her the whole time, and then it ruins her life. That's the next thing that needs to happen. Like she needs to have some sort of comeuppance for it, and she doesn't in this movie. She finds out, and like she's like, "Man, that's a bummer." And then she goes and gets married anyway, and she goes on about her life like none of it ever happened. You know what I mean? And she's probably going to be tweaking about this for a while. But what did she really pay at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like the guy took her back. Like she's set.
Like
She
nothing.
got she had everything that she had in the beginning of the movie.
It also like what kills me a little bit too about the ending is that she doesn't really even play a part in like the unraveling. Like the kid, like Anne Heche just like shows up, like sets the kid straight, and then he just comes clean, and like she just goes on. Like she has nothing to do with like the eventually like proving that it's not him. She just like one day comes home and is ready to leave with him, and he's like, I can't, and she just like, okay, I guess I'll just be miserable again. And it's just like, what? Like, come on. Like
Right.
why does Anne Heche have to be the one to find the letters and say that it's about like the affair? Like why couldn't Nicole Kidman just be the one to find them and realize that the jig is up, that the kid knows all this stuff from finding these letters? Because also, like, Nicole Kidman never even finds out that her husband was cheating on her or anything. She just continues to get to go on living in bliss that like her husband was devoted to her, and their love was like this pure like distillation.
Right. She needs that taken away from her. She needs to find out for one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then she also needs to not get the guy that she was dating in the beginning back. Her family needs to be like, no, you're a creep. Like, get away from me. Like all of that. She needs those consequences.
No, her and Danny Houston deserve each other because how both of them avoided prison, I'll never understand. He beats the shit out of that kid in front of like 13 people.
Well, I mean, he was kicking his chair. I mean, what are you gonna do? This is a fancy get together. You can't have kids kicking people's chairs. Like
when he pushes the piano against the door to block other people from getting in, by the way. It was like, dude, this guy means business. He's standing on form right now.
Yeah, that was not something he just came up with right then. He had that. He was like, if I ever need to chase somebody in that room, that piano is going to be my blocker.
He had time to perfect that. Yeah, both of them should be in jail. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, him less so. Because again,
him less so, but still, like,
if I was that kid's parents and that happened, I would be like, you know what, guys, I apologize. Like, we should have never done any of this. Let's just let bygones be bygones. We'll take them home. You'll never hear from us again.
Never mind that.
I wouldn't press charges against that guy. I would be like, wow, my child is predictably ruining all of your lives. Like, let's stop doing that now, and like, we'll get him some help. It'll be fine.
Never mind that after the first time, Buffalo Bill disappears from the movie. He's like, I guess I won't check in on my son anymore.
Yeah, right. And then the mom is around. It wasn't clear if they were together, like his parents.
I think they were. They just used the mom all the time to just be like, yeah, it's all right that you take my son to sleep over and pick him up from school.
Yeah,
and,
you just picked him up from school and he's sleeping over at your place. No big deal. Just bring him back whenever.
Hanging on the swing set with him. Now I will say, like, we've done a lot of like shitting on this movie and like really poking at like the absurdity of it. And while all that stuff is absolutely true, I can't say that there was ever a moment where I was ever bored or like not entertained by a large portion of this movie, simply because it's a lot more of it. Like I don't see this movie being good for rewatching. Like, it's very good as a first time watch because the whole time I'm like, this is fucking insane. This is fucking insane. Yeah. Like when Danny Houston walks in on the kid in his own like apartment, like sleeping, and he's just staring at the kid and he's like, I'm on to you. It's like, I fucking lose it. Like, dude, this movie is a cartoon.
Yeah, but like it's only a cartoon because it's not cartoony to be onto him. It's for you to be onto him while you're letting him sleep in your apartment.
Yeah. Like, he's just
so
on your
ridiculous. Couch. You would just be like, no, that's made up bullshit. Like, fuck you, please go away now. Like, there's no way.
It's absolutely insane. I will say,
like,
though,
how long, put yourself in that fiance's shoes. How long would you entertain that thought before you were just like, you know what? God bless. It's been nice knowing you. Like,
probably like 5 seconds. I would give the kid one time for us all to sit down and give him his little shtick. And then after that, I would be like, we're fucking done with this. Like, get this kid out of here.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if your fiance was like, you know what? I think you should live here. Yeah, like, how long would you put up with that before you'd be like, I'm going to move out, actually?
Yeah. I'd be like, hey, he can live here with you. I'll see you later. And I would walk get a bag and leave immediately.
Like, you know what? I don't think you're actually ready to get married. I think
I would be like,
a little more time to unpack everything.
I would be like, I'm leaving because either one, you're insane, or two, you're a pedophile. Either way, I'm not hanging out to find out.
Both losing options.
Yeah. Like,
not trying to file my taxes jointly with that person ever.
I'm not trying to go down for accessory after the fact for your shenanigans.
I mean, I have to add you, if we get married, I have to add you to my car insurance. You're like inviting 10-year-olds to sleep over. You seem very risky to me. I don't know. Like,
I would just have to open up a business of a daycare just to let it so no one comes sniffing around.
Yeah.
Why's there a 10-year-old at your apartment all the time? Oh, my wife babysits.
Oh, they're just always there.
My wife babysits.
No,
It's cool. All right. There's nothing
to
weird
worry
about it.
at all.
It's a totally sane thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. That's really like as much as I have to say about this is
Yeah.
that it's an interesting premise. No shit, right? Of course it's an interesting premise. It feels like there's a lot of different like roads you could go down and all of them would be better than what we got to me.
Two things I really liked about this movie. More of a craft level. I think the music in this movie was stellar. Like,
Pretty great.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
agreed.
music in this movie really helped like pull you along and sell you on like the scene that you mentioned in the opera house, especially. But there's just a lot of like even in the beginning when he's just doing the tracking shot of the husband going for the run, the music behind that is fucking incredible. Like there's just some real the score in this movie is
Yeah.
phenomenally well done. And I
It
think the movie
also
is shot like the cinematography is also very, very striking in this movie as well.
yeah, I agree with both those things. For the music, I would say it's almost like Oppenheimer-esque. Like not necessarily in like what type of music it is, but like the fact that it's like loud and yeah, kind of classical and is kind of like booming you through transitions and cuts, like is like pretty similar to how I feel like it does it in Oppenheimer. And like this, it does it less and less as this movie goes on, but especially in the beginning, it's like carrying a lot of like the load, I think.
Doing a lot of heavy lifting, and it definitely helps a huge portion of this movie because both of those things I was like always enamored with, like even if the script wasn't getting me there at times.
Yeah, and that run through Central Park was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
pretty great.
that was a great oneer. Like I got it when that movie started and we hit with that, I was like, okay, we're gonna do some fun with it with this camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely yeah, like it's definitely well shot and like the things that I would guess were meant to make me uncomfortable were definitely shot to make me as uncomfortable as possible, you know?
That's for sure. And I immediately had to take to the internet to make sure that they didn't actually film together in a tub, that it was some Hollywood movie magic. And thankfully it was. They were never in the tub together.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I never see both of them on screen at the same time. So it's like, you know, they like definitely put them in different rooms. And then they got in the tub, and I was like, man, is this early enough for that not to have happened? Because, I don't like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's wild, wild, wild times, wild movie. Very, very happy we came across it though in the picks to watch because it was definitely an interesting movie to watch out of many of the ones that we've done.
Yeah, I mean, definitely worth watching. It's like one of those movies, man. It feels like, I mean, it feels like there was better ways to do it. And just like, I'm up for about halfway for the way this movie did it, but they have to like step on her afterward. Like she can't get away with it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it
yeah.
just feels like she gets away with it, which
Needs
is just so gross.
think it needs to play more as a cautionary tale of this is what happens if you let your grief overtake you is you could do
Right.
something stupid like this.
Right. Like anybody might be capable of this if they were fucked up enough emotionally. But like the point is like you should never do it though because like it's going to ruin your life. It's a horrible thing to do. You shouldn't do it, you know?
So like the second
Um
half of this movie kind of falls apart because she either needs to go all in on this and it completely ruins her, or she realizes that like no amount of grief is worth what she's about to do and she pulls the plug on it and exposes it and gets and overcomes it and then moves on to be with her
yeah.
like her husband. Like those are the two things, and they don't do either of them. It's just basically like the kid finally admits it, and she just goes on with her life being miserable. Like, and it's like,
Yeah, right.
what? That's not really.
Yeah, I need like I like when it's the when she goes all in on it. I like that. I like everything basically up to that point. But then from there, like you have to rip her to shreds after that. You know, she has to lose her relationship. She has to lose anything you can take from her for doing that because it's so horrible, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely agree. Yeah, so yeah, falters in the second half, but very, very still interestingly made movie. That I enjoyed for what it was.
Yeah, I'll definitely be thinking about it. Let's put it that way.
It's definitely one of those movies that will like live on in my head at times. That like I'll just randomly be like, man, what the fuck was up with that? Um, as opposed to like many of the other movies we did. So there's something to be said for that at least. That it's a movie that will stick with you well after you've seen it. Now, whether that's a good thing or not, who knows? What do you think Raj had to say about this movie?
I don't know. I don't want to play a drop for it. I'm wishy-washy. I want to say he's gonna say good things, but
Raj gave this movie 3.5 stars out of 4. Compared it to Rosemary's Baby. Birth is less sensational and more ominous, and also more intriguing because instead of going for quick thrills, it explores what might really happen if a 10-year-old turned up and said what Sean says.
I mean, in the sense that it explores things that would never happen. It does that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Raj. Pervert.
What might really happen if nobody involved like thought about it for more than 1 second? That might really happen.
Give myself to the music.
It really is, man. Like both people, like the kid, the more I think about it, the kid and the wife, like if either of them said, like what the kid's saying, immediate professional help. But as soon as the wife says, like, we should let him sleep here, I would be like, are you okay? Like what? You
You're like, are
do
you
you
out of
need
your
to talk to
fucking
somebody?
mind?
Like I know this is like probably fucking with you right now. Like what are you talking about?
So like no one tried the scared straight routine, like get a couple of cops, scare the shit out of the kid, like get him to admit it.
Right, right. The movie over. Yeah, he would have been like, you know what? You got me. Let's let bygones be bygones, like
Like we got plenty of opportunities here.
yeah, just yeah. So no, I don't think that that's like what might happen. I don't think that that's what might happen at all.
Crazy, crazy stuff. What say ye, Jim? Final, what's your rating for this bad boy?
I would say like a 3 out of 5 because I think the bones are good, like it has like a lot. It's like a lot of ones that we've done where it's like, man, I could see why somebody made this movie, and I could see that there's a lot to like what they're trying to say, but I just think that they didn't quite do it the way I had hoped or the way I would have done it. And I think it hurts like the movie itself. Like I think she's just like it's trying too hard to make her sympathetic when she's not sympathetic at all, you know?
I agree. I agree with you. I'm also going to give this one a 3. There is a lot to enjoy about this movie. It's well made. The music in it's great. Nicole Kidman gives fucking just like this movie, as crazy as it is, really falls apart if you don't have an actress to even sell it. And Nicole Kidman just putting in a powerhouse performance to even get me halfway there to like being on board with some of this stuff in this movie. So her, the music and the just the overall cinematography really do lend itself to at least making this movie in it like somewhat of an enjoyable experience. I do agree with you though that this movie really needed to do a little bit more in its script, and especially in the back half of making this movie much more of either a cautionary tale or her like owning up and realizing that like she can't let grief like overpower her, but it does neither of those things. So I'm with you. It's like right middle of the road. Could have been way better. Could have been a lot worse. Standard middle of the road fare right there.
Yeah. I'm giving it a half a star for that scene when he was on the monkey bars too. Cause that was really a great visual. When she's like on the phone with her mom and like you can see she's just like so in love with the little kid and he's just like monkey bars.
They do some really interesting shot work in this movie. All right, so with a 3 from you and a 3 from me is going to give us an overall score of 6. And it's been a while since we've done battle in the sixes. Let's give it a go. Do we take Birth or do we take Jet Li's Hero?
Um let's take Hero.
Yeah, I would take Hero also. I have a feeling that while we enjoy Birth, I think Birth is going to come at the bottom end of the sixes here.
I have a feeling.
Birth or Anchorman?
Anchorman, sure, why not?
Birth or Scary Movie 3?
Scary Movie 3.
Ditto. Birth or Elf?
Oh, Elf, yeah. I don't want to just because I've seen it so many times, but it's gotta be, right?
Elf. Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Birth or The Mummy Returns?
The Mummy Returns, easily.
Yeah. Birth or Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
The Phantom Menace.
Easy wins right here. Birth or Austin Powers and Goldmember?
Gold member.
Gold member. And then it's definitely not getting over the top of the sixes. Birth or Jennifer Lopez's Nuff.
Enough. Easily enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily enough. So yeah, I think that's an easy go around this time. So Birth gonna settle in the number 53 spot between Hero and Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Oh man, what a
All
what a
right, hold on though.
what a sandwich.
I've got a better would this movie be better with Chris Evans for you?
Okay. Chris Evans
So
is Nicole Kidman and the 10-year-old is a girl.
no,
No, you can't make this movie that way whatsoever.
no. So let's say like the start of the premise is the same. Like, it's like one of the reviewers said, like it's like a short film basically. Like he goes and he's like, I'm Sean. And everybody's like, nah, come on, you're not Sean. And he's like, no, I'm Sean. And then they do the thing where they call the cops, and eventually he's just like, all right, it wasn't me, no harm, no foul, right? They go their separate ways. She gets married, the whole nine, right? It never gets as nearly as far as it got in this movie, though.
Now you're saying we're gonna cut ahead and the kid is
We're gonna
now older
we're
and
gonna
Chris
cut ahead to Chris Evans 15 years later. He's like, he's like a 20 something, or maybe even he's Chris Evans' age now, like whatever Chris Evans is, he is, right? And whatever Nicole Kidman needs to be to make that match, she is. So she's maybe even an older lady at this point. Maybe she's got some grays coming in. And she starts stalking Chris Evans.
Oh boy.
Because she's like, this whole time you were fucking right, dude. You're my husband. Now that's some like B movie horror. You're telling me you wouldn't rather watch that?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, she just sees that the kid grew up to be a fucking stud.
Yeah. She's like, shit, he could even be Chris Evans. Like, he could be Captain America. Like.
Oh my god. That would be,
It's way worse. It's way crazier if he's Captain America. But yeah, like the point is, like that's the premise that you're doing.
That's funny.
There. Like the bad horror movie. Like maybe M. Night Shyamalan directs it.
Yeah, the real bad B movie of this is definitely that route. Then you're doing like a Fatal Attraction movie.
Yeah, or like maybe the mistress starts stalking the kid like when he's still a kid, like something like that, like something somebody needs to pay for something. Like
I think
you can't just go around in life saying you're people's husbands and fall in love with 10-year-olds without consequences. Somebody needs to have some goddamn consequences.
You just keep picturing Jesse Pinkman. He can't.
Yeah, right. He can't keep getting away with this. Like even the kid, yeah. The worst that happens to the kid is she's like, "You're just like a little liar, aren't you?" Like, it's got to be something. I don't know. I don't know. That was my desperate last ditch attempt to have somebody face some consequences here.
Then at the end for lying, the kid just gets to go back to school. I'd be like, kid, you're going to fucking like we're sending you to an institution. You were getting all the like fuck school, bro. We're getting you checked out.
Yeah. Another half of Star for me is when he goes to school and they're like, go to the principal and tell us why you were late. And he's like, actually, I'm just going to go hang out with my adult girlfriend.
Yeah, he just goes to the
like
random
dips from
payphone that's
school.
in the hallway of the school.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What a
But yeah, so I don't know. That's my last ditch attempt to do a Would It Be Better with Chris Evans. I'm just kind of like disappointed by this whole thing, though. This whole movie.
It was quite an endeavor. And I don't know that's going to get any better for you, Jim. What's next week? I don't remember. What won the weekend? Was it Saw or Ray? Is it time for your music meltdown yet?
I'm pretty sure Ray was next. I have to bring it back up. Hold on.
Oh boy, here we go. How upset are you going to be if we have to do Ray next?
I mean, I'm not as upset, like not any more upset than if I have to do it in 2 weeks instead.
I'm very much looking forward to your music biopic meltdown. I agree with you on pretty much every point about music biopics. I'm not going to lie though. I do remember liking Ray though when it first came out and seeing it back then. I don't know if that will hold up today, having had so many more music biopics and also having seen now Walk Hard when it came out, kind of like maybe ruined all that. But it will be interesting to rewatch and see if Ray still kind of holds the standard for music biopics or if it joins all the ones that I watched today that make me want to kill myself.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. But no, Saw is actually next.
Oh, fuck.
Ray. Neither of them, like Ray was the biggest opener of the weekend, but The Grudge, the second week of The Grudge, was still in first place. So
That's all right. So a stay of execution for one more week.
yeah, can't wait. Fucking
Great.
music biopics.
All right. So we're going to watch.
Did you know your favorite music star wasn't such a good person?
Go figure. Who knew? All right. So Saw next week. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. This one's not as interesting to go back to because I've seen this movie dozens of times. So even though it's been a minute since I have watched it, that movie still stays pretty fresh in my mind. But
I don't think I've watched the first one in a long time. I've seen a lot of the sequels a bunch of times, so it'll be interesting to go back to the first one.
yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. What was the last thing you jammed on? Send the people home happy.
So I've been watching Stargate SG-1 with my wife, which I've been trying to hammer you down on if you've watched the show for a long time. You've never actually answered me when I text you about it.
Nope. Never will.
So just add this to the list. Stargate SG-1, sci-fi television classic. It's so good.
yeah. All right. I'll put it on the list. Put it on the massive TV list.
Michael Shanker is playing the James Spader character.
Sure.
Last episode they like went back and found people who were like ancient Mongols.
It's probably so absurdly silly.
It's so bad, and it's on like a 90s sci-fi television budget. Like the first episode was a Showtime thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think Showtime ever actually picked it up. So from like the second season on, I'm pretty sure it's just like sci-fi. Because notably in the pilot episode, there is like definitely some boobies like that they show.
Yeah.
Very much like a Showtime thing. Like if you were going to put out a Showtime show in 97, you best believe like you were showing some boobies at some point, right? Notably, no more boobies after that. Like it's the only one time, and it gets very silly very fast.
You had one job, sci-fi.
Yeah, it's pretty great though. So I've been enjoying that. I also watched some Hercule Poirot movies. I watched A Haunting in Venice.
Oh, this is the Kenneth Branagh ones.
Yes, the Kenneth Branagh ones. Yeah.
Nice. What'd you think of A Haunting in Venice?
I thought it was pretty okay. I mean, like,
yeah, I liked it. It had
a bummer.
Yeah,
because the Knives Out movies have like
taken the
just
wind
like
out of
taken all the fun out of like the reveal at the end. Like I like a mystery show where they're like, all right, now it's the end, and we're gonna tell you who did it, and we're gonna tell you how, and we're gonna tell you all the clues that you wish you had picked up on.
Yeah,
and like. The Knives Out movies never do it that way, and like I'm always like grateful that they didn't. So now like these actual mystery movies, I'm kind of like, oh, that's boring. They just did the thing, like
bastards. I will say, A Haunting in Venice has one of my favorite things though, and that is some Tina Fey. So excellent for that movie.
Yeah, Tina Fey, sure.
Do love me some Tina Fey.
She's great.
I like those movies for the most part. I think the first and A Haunting in Venice. I don't really like Death on the Nile.
Oh, okay, that was the second one. Because what was the first one? Was Murder on the Orient Express?
Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, I didn't like Death on the Nile. That's the one with Gal Gadot's atrocious acting.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. But Haunting in Venice is decent enough. Kenneth Branagh's he's got the goods. The last thing I watched, it's been a long time since I watched it. And I don't know why I got the hankering for it. I think I've just been going through. I've been on a Denzel kick recently, so I've just been watching a lot of Denzel movies. Probably one of the greatest actors of all time. And so a movie that I hadn't watched in a long time that I rewatched.
John Q.
No, Training Day.
Oh, Training Day.
Yeah. I hadn't seen Training Day in a long time, so I was like, let me watch this one again. And I'm very glad I did because that movie is fucking so good. Like Denzel Washington absolutely steals the show. Fucking incredible in that movie. But I feel like not enough credit goes to Ethan Hawke absolutely also selling the shit out of what he has to do in that movie. Like he is also fantastic. Like he obviously has the less flashy part, but the movie falls without him in his role, like also performing, and he's just fucking superb.
he's like the straight man, for lack of a better word. Like,
Yeah.
he needs to be the guy experiencing it. So we're like, yeah, look at how crazy this is. This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just like the straight man for Denzel to like really, but like, yeah, the straight man's important too. Yeah, of course.
So good, so good. And it was funny, like having not seen it for so long, like completely forgetting the like that all the bits that we always joked of from the Wayne Brady skit is just all from Training Day. like I always like I quote it so much from the Wayne Brady skit that I forget that the I didn't know you like to get wet is actually from Training Day and not from
Yeah, it's
the
when he gives him the
skit.
PCP.
No, yeah, no. Dave, I didn't know you like to get wet. It's PCP. So
Oh,
it's
man.
so good. It's such a fantastic movie. But now we turn it over to you people. Go check out these movies for yourself. And as always, form your own opinions. Don't just take our word for it. And join us here next week when we dive into Saw. And as always, we'll see you at the movies.
Point 20.